Hello, Long Sports Zone. I'm your host, Tali Campbell here. Filming date today is Thursday, January 16, the home of the Nanaimo Buccaneers. On today's show, we talk to new Buccaneers captain Lee Orphan. We've got curling news, lacrosse news, and suspension news. That's all coming to this edition of the Sports Zone. The Nanaimo Buccaneers wrapped up their game against the Comox Valley Glacier Kings in a loss 2-1. We'll have more on that in the scores later on in this edition of the Sports Zone. The Nanaimo Buccaneers named a brand new captain, Lee Orphan. Our own Aaron Schultz had a chance to talk to him.
Thanks, Tali. I'm here with new captain of the Nanaimo Buccaneers, Lee Orphan. Now, Lee, following a 2-1 loss to the Comox Valley Glacier Kings, you started off a little bit slow in the first period, being outshot 16-7. Do you think that as the game went on, that your team progressively got better?
Yeah, we started off really slow, and I guess we did get better. But to get better from how we started, that wasn't much. Like we were terrible basically the whole game. It was tough. Like it was embarrassing for us out there. So it was tough.
Okay. Now there were some chances in the second and third period as your team got better. Do you think that the bounces just did not go your way tonight? That you believe that you had a chance to win?
Well, yeah, we had our goalie, Jane, stood in there for us tall, so, he kept us in it, and there were some loose pucks, but, I don't know, you make your own luck, so, I don't know, we should have just bared down a little harder.
Okay. Now, as the standings go after this game, the Comox Valley Glacier Kings have a 2-point lead with 2 games in hand, and the Campbell River Storm lead by 5 points with 2 games in hand as well. Do you think in this late stretch of the season that you can go on a run and possibly win the North Division?
What it comes down to really is playoffs, so we're not really too concerned if we win the North, but come playoff time, we just got to be a tighter team and be in it together, so that's what we're looking for.
Okay, now we're going to go outside this game for a moment. You've been newly named the captain of the Nanaimo Buccaneers. How does it differ for you being just a regular player and now going to captain of this team?
Well, Rusty was a really good captain, but it's on me, I guess, to just go out there every game, and you just don't want to be one of those guys that you have to be a role model out there all the time. So I don't know, just really focus for every game.
Okay. And now, final question. This will be your last season in the VIJHL. Do you have any plan or idea what you want to do after this is done?
Well, I'm going to school right now, so I don't know. I'll definitely continue with my schooling, but I'll be playing beer league or whatever hockey I can get into just because, I don't know, I love it. So
awesome. True hockey player. Thank you very much, Lee. Sorry about the loss. That's Lee Orphan, new captain of the Nanaimo Buccaneers. Unfortunately on the losing side of a close 2-1 game to the Comox Valley Glacier Kings here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. For Sports Zone, I'm Aaron Schultz. Back to Tali.
Great, thank you, Aaron. We'll be joining with Aaron a little bit later on in the show as well to talk about the loss 2-1 to the Comox Valley Glacier Kings. It's now time to take a look at some news in the Nanaimo sports world. The Nanaimo Clippers' Mason Mitchell suspended 4 games for a match penalty. The Nanaimo Lacrosse is looking for people to sign up. Sign up is on now. Visit NanaimoMinorLacrosse.ca for more information. And congrats to Kalia Van Osh, a junior women's curling team, as they're off to nationals starting January 18th. It's now time to take a look at the scores in Nanaimo. In scores around Nanaimo, the Nanaimo Clippers beat the Victoria Grizzlies on Wednesday night 4-3. The Nanaimo Clippers lost Power Kings 2-1 on Friday afternoon. And on Sunday, the Nanaimo Clippers beat the Prince George Spruce Kings 4-1. For the Buccaneers, they lost the Comox Valley Glacier Kings 2-1 on Thursday. They lost the Campbell River Storm 6-3 on Friday. And the North Island Soldiers won doubleheader in the Langley Event Center taking on the Vancouver Northwest Giants. They lost both games, first one on Saturday 4-1 and second one on Sunday 7-2. That's all in scores in Nanaimo sports. As we mentioned, Nanaimo Buccaneers lost the Comox Valley Glacier Kings 2-1 here at the Nanaimo Ice Center. I'm now joined with our Buccaneers reporter, Aaron Schultz. A slow start of the Buccaneers, that result to the loss in this game?
Well, it definitely factored in the loss. Being outshot 16-7 in the first period, it's never a good way to get some offense going. Only lucky enough, Buccaneers goaltender Jackson Jane, awesome first period, making 16 saves to keep the Buccaneers in it. They're lucky there was no goals in that first period, but you want to get off to a good start. Makes the pace of the game go, and that just wasn't there tonight.
Michael Hill's goaltender for the Glacier Kings also outstanding in net tonight too.
Oh, definitely. He played just as good as Jackson Jane, only tonight he was just 1 goal better than Jackson Jane.
And talking about, the game-winning goal was the penalty shot. From your vantage point, was that a correct call from the official?
Well, it's all about did he interfere with him enough to interfere with his scoring chance. I believe it might have been soft call in some eyes, only it was enough of interference to call a penalty shot, and Ali got me. Awesome move on that penalty shot to bring it 2-1. Had 2 big goals tonight, and that's the difference tonight in this game.
That's the difference. Thank you, Aaron. Of course, the Comox Valley Glacier Kings did beat the Nanaimo Buccaneers 2-1. Congratulations to Rowan Cedar, a North Island Silvertips who called up tonight, who scored the lone Buccaneers goal. Now passing over to my interview with Bill Bestwick, part number 2. And then talking about your new job as senior advisor of the Nanaimo Clippers, of course, as many know, Bill Bestwick has a rich history with the Nanaimo Clippers. Inaugural season, he's part of it and coached for many years and manager. What exactly is a senior advisor?
Well, I think to lend your knowledge or lend your experience or lend your resources or lend your connections and your connectivity, another sounding board, another person that has an insight into the league. I'll do whoever hires me, I'll do whatever they ask me to do to try to make a difference, have an impact, have an influence on the outcome. So if I'm asked to help at ice level, I will. If I'm asked to help with kids securing academic opportunities and preparing them for that, if they aren't already, perhaps a little public relations, maybe a little bit of brand activation, but certainly supporting the team that I've been a part of for so long. It's in my hometown, and it just makes sense.
Many asked the question as well, and you may not know the answer, but January 10th is the BCHL trade deadline. The Nanaimo Clippers could potentially looking for some moves. Will you have any say in that?
I don't know that I'll have any say, but certainly if Mike asks me to do any advanced scouting, if he asks for my opinion, I'll certainly provide it. Indeed, I think that, I know we've had some good exchanges so far as it relates to player evaluations and assessments, and maybe what this team needs is short-term and long-term, and where moves potentially could be made, if at all. And certainly there's a couple of very good teams that Nanaimo will have to beat in order to advance out of the first round. And it's either going to be Powell River or Victoria, clearly, in the first round, and then one would have to think that it'll be the other in the second round when Nanaimo wins the first round. So it's going to be a tough battle. 2 of the best teams in the league happen to be in the division this year.
And many are asking questions, will we see Bill Bestwick around Frank Arena more often now at games and such? Will we?
Well, as often is the case, the junior B team that I'm coaching now will probably be playing on some of those nights, and so my first priority will be with them, but when they're not playing, of course, I'll be here, and I look forward to that. It is home, so I look forward to that.
And what is it kind of your time commitment with the Nanaimo Clippers?
It's only on a temporary basis as well. It's a 6-month situation, and so at the conclusion of the season, Clipper season, and into the summer, we'll see the spring and summer, we'll see how everything evolves. It's a work in progress. There's no commitments beyond the end of June at this time.
All right, so now some people have some questions. Mazboon asks, what made you want to start coaching junior B at such a late stage in the season?
Well, I was asked. I was available. I hope that I can help the kids, and it's really a passion. It's an addiction. And because of the addiction to hockey, and really it's the addiction to the kids, it's the ice level, it's the puck hitting the glass, it's the challenge. And so I love the challenge. I've always loved the challenge, and I'm not ready to stop coaching.
Malcolm Rush asked, who is the best Clipper you've ever coached?
That's a really, really difficult question because there's decades and there's so many kids over those years. But obviously people sort of look at the Jason Garrisons of the world because they're relatively prominent in the NHL and they're very successful and they're very good. Tyson Mulock in 2004, centerman, was one of the most crafty players I've ever coached. Very creative, tough, could score, almost at will. Obviously, so many. AJ Gale was such a good player. Blair Riley was such a good player. Craigie Day was such a good player. Raymond Sawada was such a good player. Denny Berube was such a good player in goal. honest to God, there's just way too many kids to probably have to put somebody at the top. If I had to, it would be really easy to say Jason Garrison because of his NBA success.
And Jody Rice asks, who is the best Victoria fan you know?
Well, I think Jody already knows the answer to that question, and he has been for about 3 decades or longer. He's a historian, he's an ambassador, he's passionate, he embraces the home team. Jody's an amazing young man that I have the utmost admiration for. I love the guy. Even when I was coaching against Victoria, we always had a really good relationship. And he's a huge fan of the sport at all levels. And every city deserves a fan like Jody.
And lastly, Jacob Park asked, have you ever coached a junior B team before?
No, I don't think I have. Midget, of course, and junior A, but I don't think I've ever coached junior B. At least I don't recall coaching junior B. So it's another experience, and it's another give back. It's an opportunity to give back. And whenever you get a chance to give back doing something that you love to do, then do it.
Great, thanks, Bill. Thank you all for watching this edition of the Sports Zone here on Shaw TV. I'm Tali Campbell for cameraman Madison Boone, editor Christopher Munns-Micklin, reporter Aaron Schultz, and our guests tonight, Bill Bestwick and Lee Orpin. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here next week right here on the Sports Zone.